your girl Lolo Alexis. I am back, y'all. Last week, technology won, and I just gave up. I recorded an entire YouTube showing you guys part one of some new releases that I have been dying to talk about, to give you guys the tea and my thoughts. And baby, I recorded that entire YouTube video in time lapse. Imagine sitting in front of this camera for 20 whole minutes only for it to be 1 minute and 44 seconds long. I gave up. Not gonna lie to you guys, I just didn't have the energy. I just didn't have it. I did not have it. But I am back, and this video, I do have some new releases. Some are a little bit more controversial than others, but nonetheless, I can't wait to dive into what I have in my collection that is just chef's kiss. And I hope you guys find this video informative. And if so, subscribe and share with a friend, because your girl's trying to grow. I'm not yet monetized, but I smell it coming up on the horizon. So let's dive right into today's video so that I don't keep y'all waiting. Y'all been waiting long enough. Starting with Latafa's Ana Abiyedh Scarlet, y'all. So I am a Fetiche La Rose slore. I'ma just say it. I'm a Fetiche La Rose slore. So much so, because I gotta show y'all. I have the original bottle. Y'all see the dent, okay? Let me turn it to the front. Ooh. Y'all see the dent in the original bottle. Went ahead during one of Nordstrom's beauty sales, bought me a backup bottle. I love this so much. It is such a sexy, sweet, jammy, dark rose, slightly spicy, incensey fragrance, okay? This is, to me, femme fatale in a bottle. Quentin Beach did his big one when he made Fetiche La Rose, and Christian Louboutin have been struggling, in my opinion, producing an amazing fragrance that I was like, this is worth the swipe. But La Rose, the Fetiche line, everything that I've smelled is actually worth the swipe, but this one happened to be my favorite. I do want to get my nose on the new Fetiche Santal, which is in my cart. I just haven't swiped. But anyway, y'all are here to hear about Ana Abiyedh Scarlet. Y'all, I gotta be real. This is almost a 9.5 dupe, schmoop, whoop to Fetiche La Rose. Now, the main differences that I get with this one is that it is not as sweet as Fetiche La Rose. And I will say that the rose in this one is a bit subdued because it has a white peony, I believe, at the heart. And in the dry down, it is a little bit sugar crystal. There are notes of caramel, sugar, vanilla, bringing it down to a semi-like candied finish. However, it comes across spicy, sexy, and like I said, incensey, warm, almost a 1-for-1, but I've only had this bottle maybe a week and a half. So we will see in about a month how this is going to do. Okay. And I will report. I'm going to see how Miss Ana Abiyedh Scarlet does. And see, it also has me curious about the others in this line. I also have the Ana Abiyedh Coral, which I love. That is my favorite watermelon fragrance that I've ever smelled. And this is sexy. So I'm interested in Rouge and some of the others as well to see what they're giving. But if you were looking to see what Fetiche La Rose smells like, I will be the first to tell you, indeed, it smells like Ana Abiyedh Scarlet. If you want to wait and save your coin and spend about $40 as opposed to $250, go ahead and get Ana Abiyedh Scarlet. Next, we're going to get into a fragrance that is long overdue. I won't be wearing it fall, winter, but I did buy it some time ago. And this is Pesche Velours. Now, y'all, Maison Mataha, I've heard, good and bad things about their house. Some people are just Maison Mataha all day, every day, anyway. They think they just make the most beautiful gourmands. Others are saying that it's inconsistent. Sometimes they get a hit, sometimes they get a miss. they're still, in my opinion, after smelling some, trying to get that hit like they got with Escapade Gourmand, which is absolutely a masterpiece. Pesche Velours, not so much, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. This is my third fragrance from them. I did enjoy Printemps Blanc, which is why I purchased Pesche Velours, because I was excited at their Flormond capability, which I figured this would be, but this is not my favorite. So let's get into the notes of Pesche Velours, right? This has peach, tuberose, violet, jasmine, vanilla, musk, and santal. This opens very bright and juicy with the peach, but the peach for me fades down so swiftly, and then it gets into this very sour, very outdoorsy tuberose heart that seems to last forever. Now, if you love tuberose, then you're going to love it probably. But I like tuberose when it's bubblegummy and enjoyable and kind of flirty and feminine. I do not like tuberose when it's coming at me like it's out the wild. Do not like flower pot tuberose. And I feel like in this fragrance, it is flower pot tuberose. And while it has jasmine and violet there, I believe to try to subdue it, to bring forth like a different, like softer, white floral heart. It is giving that stereotypical white floral that kind of can smell like a little bit of cat piss. Not my words, but if you've ever been, walking during the spring and like, for me, I don't know what the trees are called, but they have white petals on them. I used to smell them all the time in college down south. They smell a little bit like urine. Like it just smells like urine. Honestly, Pesche Velours on my skin, the white florals gave urine. Now, once that fades down, the most beautiful, smooth, pretty vanilla dry down exists. It has a gorgeous dry down. That signature Maison Mataha vanilla is very present in this, but you got to get through the war of the white florals, and I just am not a fan. Now, yes, is there a dent? Of course, because it layers well with other fragrances. So I have other white florals in my collection during the summer that I was layering with it. And I'm like, okay, you play well with others, but I would never wear this by itself, excuse me. And to me, for the price point, you should still be able to wear a fragrance on its own. It should be able to stand on its own when it's above $200. Like I don't need to buy a $200 layer fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want something I want to just layer, I'm going to, spend around maybe $100, but typically under $100 if I'm just looking for a layerable scent. Like I'll just get me an Ariana Grande perfume or something, but I'm not spending $200 plus on a niche fragrance for it to just be something that I use as a layering agent. So that's my opinion. A lot of people love it. It just wasn't my favorite. And I'm a girl who loves peach, but this just did not give peach. It is more so a white floral with a squeeze of peach versus a peach fragrance with a squeeze of florals. Now, let's get into the battlefield, okay? I got to talk about the Valentinos, okay? Got to talk about Donna Born in Roma, Rendezvous Ivory, and Donna Born in Roma, Uomo Ivory. So first of all, the bottles are so stunning. These were inspired by, Studio 52 back in the day, where the elite, the creme et la creme, the most fashionable of all celebrities would gather, dine, party, possibly do drugs all night long, being wealthy, opulent, limited access, all the things. So the bottle aesthetic is stunning. But people have been up in arms about whether or not the juice inside of the bottles is worth the price tag. And I have thoughts because I don't understand what the uproar was, considering that this is Valentino and this is not Paris Corner. So expecting a certain level of gourmand from Valentino was kind of like delusional in my eyes. And to this day, I won't understand it. Let's get into the fragrance. So I'm going to start with my baby, Miss Donna Ivory. Okay. She has notes of green mandarin, marshmallow, orange blossom, and vanilla. This smells exactly like the bottle looks. It is light. airy, semi-sweet, sophisticated, elevated, and honestly, in my opinion, a bit elitist. Now, is it a groundbreaking scent? Not actually. Like, no, you're going to smell, okay, I've smelled something similar to this before, but not exactly, because it still has remnants of the original Donna Born and Roma DNA, which is a floral, which is why I don't know what in the world people expected when they saw that marshmallow note, that they were going to take it away from it being a floral fragrance. I always expected the new flanker to be a floral fragrance, but I do believe they did an amazing job. This to me smells like a natural marshmallow out the bag. It's got that softness. It's got that powdery petalness. It has a fluffy quality to it. It is delicately sweet. I feel like the squeeze of the green mandarin adds just a bit of tartness in the perfect capacity to hit that orange blossom, to bring down how screechy orange blossom can be, so that it is well blended. And then it fades into a vanilla and you get more of that fluffy, beautiful marshmallow as it dries down. And I love it. I actually got a backup bottle because, baby, this is my boo. And it macerates so well. Baby, I smell this now because now I've had it like 3 weeks. And quintessentially, this is one of my favorite scents to wear by itself for just comfort during the day, like a daily wear. But it also layers beautifully with so many other scents in my personal collection because I am a floral girl and I'm a marshmallow girl. And I just feel like this is a beautiful fragrance that you can add to anything. Now, whether or not it's worth $190, that's a personal opinion. I think it is. I take into account inflation, tariffs, everything else this administration has caused for us, okay? Most fragrances at this point are going to be above $150 until things settle down. I love it. Now getting into Uomo, which I'm going to layer with, okay? This is my favorite of the two. Now, yes, is it marketed for men? Indeed, but I feel like this is unisex. It gives just unisex. It's soft enough to where you can wear this as a woman, but it's not feminine leaning enough where a man is not going to be like, this smells sexy. So it has that beautiful herbaceous spa-like quality. It's got bergamot, lavender, and a beautiful fireplace accord. And I believe some vanilla in it as well. The fireplace accord, I was scared at first when I first heard of it. But then when I smelled it, it just adds a warmth and woodiness that kind of intensifies the vanilla in the dry down. And the citrus opening and lavender just make this very grounding and very subtle and beautiful. Now, this one is also in an Eau de Toilette concentration, which I'm kind of not understanding why it's an EDT and this one's an EDP, but maybe they were created to layer together. Or maybe they knew if they made it an EDP that lavender was going to be too much. I don't know, but I just think that this is so sexy. If I smell this on a man, I'm going to want to eat him. And then, of course, I bought it for myself. And these together are just such a beautiful pairing, y'all. This is so good. Like, even when I went into Sephora, the sales clerk or rep was like, girl, I bought this for me. And I said, really? And when I smelled it, I said, I see why. This is clean. This is fresh. This is inviting. This is welcoming. And it just feels just like happiness, peace, and calm. So if you're in the market for something that's more of a freshie, or if you're looking for an everyday scent that's going to make you feel, you know, clean and just happy, I suggest Donna Born and Roma Uomo Ivory. I think this one's ivory too. Not sure. Now, one that is not being hyped enough, that, baby, as soon as I smelled this, I had to have a full bottle. And that is the Chloe La Parfum. Now, I don't have the other two flankers that came before the La Parfum, but what I can tell you, out of all the new releases that I was smelling in Nordstrom and Sephora that came out, which that's a whole nother video that I'm going to get into because I'm not pleased. I'm not pleased at these first early fall releases, but that's neither here nor there. I can say that the Chloe, though, gotta bring y'all in. The Chloe, she's everything. She's everything. So this one has orange blossom, tonka, rose, and vanilla as keynotes. Now, I've started to realize I do really like orange blossom, especially when it's blended very well. And this is such a Femme Fatale Elite Bougie Expensive Well-Dressed Woman fragrance. This is not going to appeal to everybody. So if you don't like roses and you don't like smelling, you know, a little bit vintage with a modern twist, you're not going to like it. But I love it. Of course, Chloe always has the cutest, most chic bottles that really just bleed femininity. But the fragrance itself is so good, y'all. It is just warm, resinous. The floral heart with that rose smells sweet and a bit spicy. Oh my gosh. And then the orange blossom just adds a bit of a like bright citrus texture, but also because if you know anything about marshmallow notes and fragrance, they use orange blossom. This also gives off a clean marshmallow scent to my nose. So imagine like a fluffy rose fragrance with a resinous dry down of that tonka and that vanilla. 1,000,000 out of 10. I love this down. Now I'm going to wait until it cools off a little bit because I do feel like this is more fall coated, not transition into fall coated. So I need the leaves to fall a little bit more and it to get a little cooler outside before I start bringing her out. But baby, ooh, one of my favorites that I've purchased thus far for fall. This is 1,000,000 out of 10. And now sliding into my last fragrances for this review, because there is a part 2, because baby, I can't stop buying perfume and I need to. In this economy, I need to because it's not cheap. But I got my nose on the new Kayali Oudgasms, okay? So we have Oudgasm Chocolate Oud and we have Oudgasm Milky Musk Oud. Now, I'm going to start with my least favorite, which is Chocolate Oud. And it's not because it's a bad fragrance. I just find it to be a little bit redundant and it's okay. It's okay. So it has notes of caramel apple, spiced rum, velvet orris, incense, dark cocoa, and chocolate oud. Now, for me, you're going to get an opening of apple brandy on the rocks. You will hear some people say angel share. I do not get angel share. And I only know it's apple brandy because I own apple brandy. Okay. And I own angel share inspired fragrances because I'm not an angel share girly. I'll be honest. It's a little bit too cinnamon-esque leaning with the cognac, but I am an apple brandy on the rocks because it has a brighter, sweeter cognac feel to it. And if you have apple brandy on the rocks, you know what I'm talking about. It opens with that green apple and it has rum and cognac in it. Now, apple brandy also has a squeeze of pineapple and some other warm, woody, resinous notes, but neither here nor there. I feel like chocolate oud opens like apple brandy, but that's very, very light. It immediately goes into that powdery cacao with a bit of smoke, and that just kind of lasts throughout the wearing experience of chocolate oud. You do still get the sweetness from the caramel apple. It becomes fainter as you wear it, but it does give more of a dark cacao with some incense. And I would say beginner friendly oud. I love oud, so I have some heavy hitter ouds in my collection. You kind of almost don't smell the oud in chocolate oud. Even though it's listed as the stronger of the two new releases, I feel like it's actually the lighter, at least on my skin. On my skin, it gives light oud. However, it is a delicious scent. Do I feel like it smells expensive? Yes, I do, especially as it dries down. I do feel like for the Oudgasm collection, this smells very good, and it is a safer blind buy than any of the original releases, minus Vanilla Oud by the Oudgasm line with Kayali. Now, getting into my baby, Milky Musk Oud. Now, baby, I've emptied the clip on this. It is gone. So I had to go ahead and get Big Mama. I'm not going to open Big Mama on this video, but I'm going to just read the notes and tell you my experience. This has notes of pink pepper, strawberry cream, incense, suede santal, white musk, and silver oud. Now, for me, immediately when I smelled this, so I love ambrette, right? Ambrette is an animalic musk note that just smells like dark plum juice mixed with soft leather, like you were sitting at a cobbler's desk, right? It just has this beautiful, clean, yet sweet, animalic tone to it. So when I sprayed Milky Musk, I thought I smelled ambrette because I didn't read the notes, but it could be because it's just classified as white musk, okay? And suede santal, which to me could be a hybrid of ambrette. I also really get a beautiful, spicy, milky, soft, smooth sandalwood fragrance with hints of sweetness as it dries down. You do get that strawberry cream lightly as it dries down. Now, I've seen some people review and say this smells like Le Labo Santal 33. I do not get it. And I have a flanker of, not a flanker, excuse me. I have Santal 33 in a travel size like sample, and I sprayed them side by side, and I don't get that. I think that sandalwood is very present in both scents, but Santal 33 is more herbaceous. It's going to give more of a spa quality. It is not going to give a smooth, milky, silky, slightly spicy, sweet, milky musk oud. This to me is going to be the one for individuals who actually like oud, that want to smell a little bit more oudy, but again, beginner friendly, subdued, silky. I also think this one is the perfect layering agent to anything that you want to add depth to if it's too sweet, or anything you want to take down that's a little bit too woody or resinous. I feel like Milky Musk Oud is going to do that. I'm obsessed with it. Not going to lie. This one actually is my favorite of the Oudgasm right now. And I'm a vanilla Oudgasm girly. I have it. I also love Rose Oud by the Oudgasm line. And I like Cafe Oud. Like the Oudgasm line by Kayali is actually my favorite, possibly because it just smells more elevated and niche in general compared to the rest of the scents that are in the house. And I feel like these were great additions from Mona. Now, some people might be disappointed because they wanted more of a gourmand presence. But if you are familiar with the Oudgasm line from Kayali, I don't find that that particular line is gourmand. I feel like that one is more so for people who want to wear fragrances that feel a bit more niche and adult, right? While having nuances of gourmand facets and it not leaning foodie. So if you are looking for a gourmand oud, that's not the line. That's not the line by Kayali. That's not the line. You would do better at probably going to a Latafa and seeing if they have like a oud, or a Paris Corner and seeing if they have a oud with some cake frosting on it, which I don't even think they do, because most of the ouds that I have by Latafa give oud, okay? Like pow pow in your face, you smell the oud. So these two don't give that. And I think that if you are trying to come into exploring oud as a note, these are great. These are great blind buys. I can't see you being disappointed or not liking to wear them. To get comfortable with wearing oud. And again, I just, I sprayed it on this hand. It smells really good. I know I sprayed, the Valentinos on this hand as well. And that all kind of layers together very nicely, actually. But anyway, you won't go wrong with either one. If you want something sweeter, get the chocolate oud. If you want something more niche and elevated, get the Milky Musk oud. But in either way, you won't fail. I think they're perfect blind buys. They're safe. You won't be like, oh my gosh, I hate these. I can't see anybody saying that with these two. Most Kayalis are not fragrances that you hate. You either love them or you are like at a mid-like, but there's nothing that stinks. You know what I'm saying? So I love them. I love them. I plan to get a full bottle of Oudgasm chocolate. It's just not a necessity right now because I still have some left in the travel. But Milky Musk Oud I had to get because, baby, I killed it. That was today's video, guys. Make sure you are subscribed so that you will be first in line to know when I drop the next one, because in that next video, baby, I done got Cherry Stem. I have Elan Noir. I've got the Forbidden Apple by Chris Collins. I've got some goodies to talk about in that next video. So make sure you are locked in, subscribed, and turn your notifications on because that one will be dropping very shortly. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. Ta-ta.